Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth to Says Awhile. Hey, are you single? Like me? Well, on this edition, we are going to be discussing why you are single and may probably remain single for a very long time. You see, we talk about vibrational frequency from time to time on this channel. And I'm sure if you have listened to some other self-help, self-development kind of channels, videos, or read books on this matter, you will hear them talk about vibrational frequency. Citizens of the same frequency attract and connect themselves. You can't be in America and be having a one-on-one physical, tactile relationship with somebody in Nigeria unless you come to Nigeria. So you cannot live in house A and wake up from the bed of somebody who lives in house D unless the person comes to your house and comes to your room to sleep with you, or you go there. It's about mobility. See, you are single for two reasons. One is probably you have a very high sense of self, or you have a very low sense of self. Mark these two things. They are the reasons we are single. If you have a high sense of self, that's good, but there is a problem present in that sense of self why you are not yet married. Is this: you have a high sense of self, but you are not living that sense of self. Therefore, what it means is that your intentional frequency is, say, 500, but your practical frequency is 350. Now, all the things you desire, all the things that pull your attention will be 500 items. There will be things that are at the frequency 500. Then, what will be coming to your grasp? You love things that are high, but you cannot attract them into your space because they are higher than you. Now, this is what happens when you come across a lady. It's been said before that when men meet very pretty ladies, they are tongue-tied, they cannot talk. It's because that lady is at your ideal frequency, but you are not there. Higher frequencies tend to intimidate lower frequency without planning to. All they are just being themselves. And because you are not at the same level with them mentally, you freeze out. People think that to be on that level is to have money. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I once had a friend who is a billionaire. He had 2 private jets. I used to meet him from time to time. He invited me to his permanent suite at a hotel. Then I noticed one thing about this man with all his money. When he came across very pretty ladies, very pretty ladies, he would freeze out. He just could not talk to them. And I was wondering, where did the saying go that make the money, you get the women? Oh yes, if you make the money, you will get the women, but they are not women of your ideal class. There will be women that are beneath your present class or at the same class as you. You see that high class that your mind is at, where you are supposed to be, you can never attract such. This is one thing. A lady or a guy in that same level, that's 500 frequency level, may look at you and show some interest in you. But you see, he or she will not be able to come to terms with your hows and whys and all of that. Just sees you as somebody that is interesting, someone that she or he will want to have something to do with. But is expecting you to make the move, but you're not able to make the move. Why? Because you are feeling that you are not up to that level. People think that it is money, it is financial status that make them not able to talk to certain women. It's not it. It is a thing of frequency. You cannot stretch your hand and pick a palm kernel from a palm tree unless you climb it. Unless that palm tree is within your reach. Now, the second reason why you are not able to marry because of that frequency relationship is because you value yourself. You do not want to manage. You do not want to pick just anybody out of the fact that time is going, or out of the fact of sympathy. I've been with this girl, I've been with this guy for a while, though it's not at my level. But what's wrong with her? What's wrong with him? He's interesting, he's jovial. You look at the pluses in this person and say, it's okay, let me just marry. A lot of people marry at that level and they find themselves in some problems. Whenever they come across people, those kind of people that are in their ideal class, they feel sad. They feel that they married too much in haste. That's one. Those who have sense of self, they don't bother. They say, I must get this person. They keep thinking that it is the girls, it is the guys that are not making the move, they are not getting them. It's not it, it's frequency. Sometimes a lady is approached by a guy of a higher frequency. She freaks out. She say, he wants to use me. It's not serious. I don't believe him. And that happens too. And when a lady of a higher frequency approaches a guy, comes into a guy's space and is showing interest in the guy will never have his feet standing. He's shaky. He doesn't believe that he can even make the move. He will never be able to make that move because the classes are not the same. What should you do? Elevate your frequency. That's all. That's what will take you there. The second one is you are not married up until now because you have a low sense of self. And that low sense of self is actually pushing the right people away from you. This one is that you don't have this frequency. You are not thinking of higher frequency at all. Where you are, you're okay with it. You don't bother. And that level is so low and you feel comfortable there. But you have this feeling that life is very tough. Life is very like this. You need somebody to help you. You need somebody to take care of you. You need somebody to lift you. See, that is a low self-esteem. You have been brought up to understand that you do not have the causative power to make this happen in your life. Therefore, you are using your body, you are using your gender as a basis of growth, of rising in the game of things. The truth is that if you eventually marry somebody that is higher than you, you still will not rise. Because frequency is not a matter of material acquisition. It's a matter of mental attainment. You need to grow. All right? You need to grow. You need to start growing your person. You need to start growing your sense of what you need. The beautiful thing about it all is that nobody is born locked in a frequency. We are all born to attain. Okay? To attain, we keep rising. It is our right. It's growth. Just as your physical body grows, your mental frequency should also be growing. So that is why you are not married. And it is the same reason you may never be married. Because you come across different people, you just feel that something is wrong with them. It's not right. It is not, nothing is wrong with them. The thing that is wrong is with you. You are not where you are supposed to be. Why are you not at that frequency that you're supposed to be? You have not been able to pay the price of rising. There are certain weaknesses, there are certain negative observances that are holding you down in that frequency. It could be regular fantasy. It could be not reading enough. Yes, not reading enough. You see, it's possible that your rising is in books or not reading the right books. You're reading the wrong books. Some people read all kinds of things. You don't want to know what they read. There are some materials you shouldn't read because of you, because of what your life's plan are. But if you don't have a life plan, you are just a person that flows along, it's okay. So how do we now elevate our frequency? Well, we're going to deal with it when we come back from this break. I am Osezwa Anthony Elimihe. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Should you now do to take your frequency up, to leave this present country that is no longer serving you? One, you know it. That's the funny part of it. You know it. It could be associations, certain people you associate with. You break it, move away from them right now. You don't have to look for the right people to move. You just move away from these wrong people first, and then begin to spend more time with yourself. You see those things that you are supposed to be doing. People don't have a private moment at all. Especially these days of social media, they are either discussing with people or they are seeking to discuss with people. They are chatting, they are seeing videos of people, all of that. They don't have any me moment. That self moment, they don't have it. There's no way your frequency can be elevated if you are having others moment, if you are having social moments, which is not a self moment. So create self moments. Now, it means go away from demanding crowd and step into the quiet of your soul, of your inside, and begin to observe what is going on your inside and begin to ignore all the negatives. This is where we talk about introspection and meditation. And I say to you, get a diary and begin to, why am I saying all of these things? Because I'm not married. Have I ever had women I want to marry? I've had, yes. Did I marry them? No. Why didn't I marry them? Two reasons. One, I didn't want to manage with them. They were not the ideal things for me. They met all the beautiful standard, the curves and everything was perfect. But there was something there that was not working for me. It was a case of frequency, which I didn't know before. We were at different frequencies. And it got to a point where when I had relationship with them, I'm talking about intimate relationship with them, I found myself very sad for days. That was because they were very low in frequency and they were pulling me down to a lower level, what they say. That's one. The second reason is that there are practices I ought to have been doing, which I grew up to be doing when I was a boy. Regular meditations and retreats. I would take time out. I was a boy that would collect money from my father. I would tell my dad I want to travel. I was leaving home to a hotel to go and spend fun. I'm talking about a teenage, I was 19 or thereabout. I would go to a hotel, stay in there for 4 days and meditate, study. And when I came out, I became stronger. So that was why most of my mates at that time were seeing women in a special way and they were indulging. I was not. Guests were writing me letters, they were coming to me, but I was not interested in them. It wasn't because I didn't love them, I love beautiful things, but I just could not come in there because I was on a very high frequency. Life after university became a different thing. I started looking for a job. I started, looking for connections out there. I forgot my practices. And when I got it, when I had made it, I would go back to the regular meditations and introspections. And that would take me years. I just got back to it, not quite 5 years now. All along, I have been playing in the wilderness of time. And because I was not on that frequency, I lost a lot. And it's not my problem. The greatest joy I have is that I never got myself to marry within that time. I found somebody, but along the line, because we were both AS, the marriage did not happen. She went to someone else, and I was not happy with it because I told her I was willing to marry her even if we don't have children. Let's not have children. Let's just go. But she did not. She accepted, and we're going on. But one day, she just decided to escape without telling me. And she went to marry someone else. I wouldn't blame her. She was very pretty. She's still very pretty and gorgeous. She married someone else, and life is good there. That is what he said. It was a case of frequency clash, right? Things don't happen by accident. They happen by design. So, there are people who are lucky. You could, especially the ladies type of it, you could come across a man who is of a higher frequency because they have this domineering mentality. They look and say, I will marry you. And the intention is to help you rise to your frequency. It happens. If I see somebody for the first time and I was so enamored by the person's looks, I approach the person, talk to the person, of course, make the person laugh and all of that. We exchange numbers and we start talking. When I start talking to the person, chatting, I realize that the person is not on the level I wanted her to be. I just felt there's no need to start. Let's just end it. And I don't even tell her this, I just go off. As far as I'm concerned, that's gone. Sometimes they don't believe that I'm interested in them. They also start having some of this doubt. They think, oh, I was after their bodies, and that pisses me off and I let them go. These are being the game. But what about precious? No, because I have one understanding. I didn't come to this life to get married. Okay, that's very clear. I didn't come to this life to have children. I didn't come to this life to have money. I came to this life to grow. If marriage, money, and children would promote my growth, I welcome it. If it will not, no way. So if I'm having somebody that I am not connected with at that level, we cannot really have that connection. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with tribe. I'm not tribalistic. I'm not even racial. All I believe in is a human being. A human being who is conscious of her humanity and is open to that growth. Not a human being that has put a lid on her life and say, this is me, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm not interested in such a life because I won't take a liability. Not liability in terms of money or anything. I'm talking about liability in terms of the mental capacity, the mental space. And now, talking about mental space, I'm not talking about whether you know book or you don't know book, whether you can read. No, I'm talking about the capacity to assess things in their right states, to be fair. The capacity to be truthful, to be true to yourself, to be true to your value, to be true to your private truth. That's what you're talking about. Someone can handle her own. Someone who can look the devil in the eye and say, I love you, but I can't worship you. That kind of a person. That's what I'm talking about. You see, not a person that goes with this siege mentality that there are evil forces chasing them all over the place where there are none. Life is about growth and development. If you are not growing, if you are not developing, you are going backwards. So that is it. And if you are having this challenge that you do not seem to find the right person, it is not the people that you are meeting that are the problems, it is you. Like I have been the problem for me. Always been. All my friends tell me you are too selective. Family say I'm too selective. They have seen me with different types of ladies of class, but they didn't know what I was looking for. And now I know that I wasn't looking for them. I was supposed to actually find me. I was actually supposed to discover me on my inside. And the thing is, if you focus in everything in life, both your career, money, and all of them, they are all hinged on frequency. If you focus on improving your mind, developing your mind to reach the level of your frequency, my friend, all of that things will fall into place. And the easiest way to do that is meditation. But sometimes we get distracted by external activity. Sometimes when you are meditating, like I'm speaking from personal experience, when you focus on meditation, like if I focus on meditation for like 5, 6, 7 straight, 8, 10, 11 days, every day, doing like 4 hours a day, things begin to give way. I begin to have successes coming from everywhere. People who have forgotten that I existed in business start calling me. And I will throw myself into the activity of being called and pursuing these businesses, and my meditation drops drastically, sometimes without even being able to meditate in a day or two. And then those things begin to fall out. And I understand that life is telling me, get yourself to speed. I don't want you to go back to where you were before and you crashed. At this point in time, I want you to grow to something that is really beautiful in line with your dreams. Therefore, get your acts together. And that's why I'm focused on transforming me. Are you focused on transforming you? There is no haste in life. My people say, that is, it is the time you wake up that is your money. Don't judge your money by the external times, by the calendars, and by the watches. It's not worth it. You are above the time. Time is an illusion. It is the real illusion in our existence. So that is it. Instead of blaming all the guys, blaming all the ladies out there for your not being married, they are not at fault. You are the one. And again, I will talk on another one. I will talk about stories in another video. So I will let you understand how these experiences of not getting the right people have created a story for you that you keep telling yourself and telling people. And that story has perpetuated your state of not being married. I told such stories, but I've dropped them. How about you? Are you willing to drop the story? If you love this video, if it made sense to you, please share it with people that you think are single and are almost getting desperate, are almost losing their thing. Send it to them. Let them watch the video, and you might just be helping somebody. And when you help one soul, your frequency will also be elevated because of that selfless service. It's possible, and we can do it. God bless you.